Welcome to the Men of Action podcast. Today we're coming back with another Zack Attacks. I got Zack in the house today, and he's a man of action. He's going to tell us his story of how he rose to fame and how he's changing lives and impacting people that he's involved in. Zack, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I'm really happy to be here and, happy to learn more about, everyone else.
Yeah, especially as we kind of continue with the podcast and helping men become men and learning it's okay to open up, share up, and inspire to change their lives for the better. So, Zack, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves? Who are you?
Yeah, so I'm Zack Bordeaux. I do video marketing. I'm 18 right now. I do video marketing for business owners, but I've also been very involved in the fitness industry for about 2 years now. About 2 years ago, when COVID was at its peak, I was sitting there just scrolling TikTok like the rest of us, just scrolling. Had no purpose. There was no reason for anything to happen good to me because I wasn't putting in any work. So I was just scrolling, and then I was just scrolling. And one night specifically, I was scrolling and I came across a video by, I forget what her last name is, but her first name's Riley, on TikTok, talking about a program called 75 Hard. And then, I knew like the next day I was like, okay, I have to do this. I have to start now. And my whole mindset just shifted right in one day. From sitting here, just being lazy, having no fulfillment, having no purpose, had no reason to live, like nothing going on for me, to just, okay, I have to get this done. And it's pretty simple. So 75 Hard, if you're not familiar, it's 2 workouts a day. So one of them is an outdoor workout. So basically for me, it was an outdoor walk. My first day, I did 2 outdoor walks. My feet were hurting. Like, I was at this point, I was like 235, 245 pounds, very fat, very obese. Like I said, no reason to change at that point because I was just, I was comfortable where I was at. But the kind of big thing about me was that I decided to, instead of just, hoping for the best, you actually have to put in the work. And you really have to stop waiting for, the time to be right. The time will never be right. You have to just put in that work right now. And stop waiting for the perfect moment. But as far as I go, I've kind of transformed my life. I went from, like I said, 235 pounds. I dropped down to about 165. But I did that in about 75 days. In just over 75 days, I dropped from, 235 to 160. But obviously, as you know, I was very uneducated on the fitness and, how to actually go about things. So I lost a lot of muscle mass. And, I lost a lot of fat too, but it was a good bit of muscle mass as well. So I've been working ever since to get educated, learn more about the industry, get very involved, learn more about the people around the industry, and be able to find more information to help not just myself, but others. Because I really do have a passion for helping others succeed as well, because I've seen how it changed my life. So I have to be able to help other people change theirs. But obviously I want to make sure that I am in the best scenario possible as well. So I've kind of been working to build that muscle back up ever since. I'm about 180 right now. So, but I have kind of been able to recomp a lot of muscle over the past, few months. And I think that it's very kind of important for people to do it right to start, because I wasted a lot of time, and I'm trying to, help other people learn the right way to do things and not cut down like I did, not make the same mistakes. So it's a little about me.
No, that's awesome. Were you able to complete the 75 Hard Day Challenge?
Well, of course. Yeah. So I actually did the full year-long program, which is the Live Hard program. So 75 Hard is the first 75 days of that program, which is 2 workouts a day, drink your gallon of water, read 10 pages a day. I'm forgetting the other tasks off the top of my head.
What was some of the extra tasks that you could involve yourself?
So then as the program progresses, I'm currently on my second year of the program right now. So I'm working through phase 1, which comes after 75 Hard, which is all the 75 Hard tasks plus a cold shower every day, 10 minutes of visualization, and what's the other task? I'm blanking. Oh, your powerless test. So powerless is another kind of tool that I use. I have a good bit of information about that out there, but it's it really is a program. It's a lot of people start on the program for the physical gains, but it's all mental. And it makes you realize that like everything is in your mind. You have, two voices in your mind. You have your boss voice, and then you have your other voice. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on here. Am I allowed to cuss?
Go ahead.
So you have your boss voice and your bitch voice. So your bitch voice is that voice in your head that tells you, hey, you're okay. You did your workout yesterday, so you can take, you can just play it easy today. And then your boss voice is that voice that says, okay, wake up, get to work, let's go. Stop, being dumb. Like get up,
Yeah.
get moving, put in the work. And you really have to figure out what voice you want to listen to. It's all mental. Literally, like everything that I do, I try to challenge myself mentally. And mental toughness and discipline, for one thing, those are the two biggest skills that you can have in a business standpoint as well. So I think that being able to prioritize that in a fitness space and then be able to translate it to other areas of your life, relationships, business, like all of it, it's all encompassing. So it's more of a mental program than anything. But yeah, it truly did change my life.
It definitely is a mental program. So what has helped you to develop that mental toughness, that mental strength to listen to that boss voice? What has
Well,
helped you to achieve that?
yeah. So I think, when you're laying in bed just scrolling for days on end, lockdowns, you don't have any like friends that you could just go see because you're in a lockdown.
Right.
You have no purpose. And being able to be mentally tough and develop, even when you don't feel like it. Today, for instance, you might hear I'm a little stuffy, like I'm not feeling greatest. I got back from the gym last night at 2 a.m. I
Oof.
left this morning still at 5:30 for my run, same time every morning. So I did not feel like waking up this morning. The alarm went off. I didn't feel like it. Still had to get it done. And being able to accomplish those tasks, even when you don't feel like it, is like, that's top tier, like stuff that a lot of people would say, oh, well, it's okay. I did my workout yesterday. I got back late from the gym last night, but you have to remember that you have to listen to that boss voice in your head. It's all mental.
No, especially being 18 years old and doing all this stuff. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I kind of had to. I mean, like I
Yeah.
was depressed. I was going through like all the emotions. Like, it truly did. It saved my life, and I know that just the physical aspect of it saved a few years of my life, obviously, on the long run, because I'm healthy. I'm taking my life seriously, but from the mental side of things too, to be able to, not compromise on just like the little things, it's very, very important and beneficial to me.
No, absolutely. So what got you involved in starting your own business and starting to help with videos?
Yeah, so about 4 years ago, just over 4 years ago, I started helping my mom, and we kind of scaled her business up using video. We really went all out and did video in a kind of larger aspect of really doing media production. She runs an accounting firm, so we helped her build up her business and really get the wheels turning on the media side of things. But since then, we've kind of transitioned into an agency model. So I have a lot of different people on my team that help me from not just the video side of things and the content creation, but actually being able to get leads. There's a lot of people out here that just do short form content, but I really want to help people get results and be able to help people continue to grow. So I place in setters, I place in salespeople. Like I actually help people get the results that they need. And I really think that it's important to me to leave an impact and actually help people as well, more than just do video. I think that it's very powerful tool video is because personally I like marketing. I think it's pretty fun. It's a pretty good side of things. I like the management side of things as well, but getting started in business young, obviously my parents own their own business, so it kind of influenced me a lot. But I've kind of moved into that aspect of it a lot more recently as to, there's only so many days in your life. It's the same thing with fitness. You have to work now so that you can reap the rewards later. And I think being able to, get started on your own business so young is very beneficial.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. It's just running into some issues over here. So Let's see here. So, no, it's good that your mom was into doing her own business and everything. Kind of was, instilled in you at very young age. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see.
So, what else can you tell us about yourself, Zach, of how you take more action into your daily life?
Yeah, I mean, I think um, being able to actually put in that work and realize from a young age that it's not all about just getting the result. It is about the journey as well. I think being able to uh, take your mindset and shift it from, okay, I want to make $1 million this year to I want to make an impact on people. I think that's really what kind of sets me apart. I think that a lot of people, like I said, there's a lot of content people out here. There's a lot of fitness people out here, but are they actually helping people and making that impact? And I think the impact is kind of like the biggest thing that, like, as a business owner and even in the fitness side of things, like, it really motivates you a lot more and it makes you a lot more fulfilled. And having that purpose is, very important for growing not only a business, not only yourself, but being able to grow as a person. And I think that, being able to grow that up is very important as well. But actually realizing that nothing comes easily, like nothing at all comes easily. You have to do the work. You have to make the sacrifices. Like, you got to sacrifice the video games. You can't play video games every day and win. It's just the fact. You got to sacrifice, sometimes you got to sacrifice sleep. Like last night, I slept 3 hours. I sacrificed sleep. Obviously, probably not the best thing to sacrifice, but you got to make the sacrifice for that. You got to sacrifice the TV. You got to sacrifice the movies. There's a lot of different sacrifices that you have to make. And being able to, kind of influence the people around you to see what you're doing. There's a Vince Lombardi quote, and he basically says, leading by example is not the best way, it's the only way. And I really think being able to lead by example, not in the small things in life too, re-racking your weights, wiping the pee off of a toilet seat, like the little things as well, help to make that impact a lot too. And I think being able to kind of have that as a very it's a motivator, really, is what it is. And being able to have that discipline to do what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it, and put in that work, and not just, pray for things to come, to actually be able to put in the work to get the result, is what is actually going to impact your life and what's actually going to build you as a person, as your business, in the fitness space, like all of those things. So I think that it's very important that you do the work and you focus on the small things and be detail oriented. And I kind of think that, doing the work is something that a lot of people overlook. People want the result. They want the cars. They want the money. They want the abs. They want the six pack. But you have to remember, if everyone has a six pack, it's not valuable anymore. So the work is what actually makes it valuable. The dedication, the time, the blood, sweat, and tears that you're going to put into things is what's actually going to make it valuable. And I think that's kind of, a big realization that I had to make, especially when I was, fat and didn't want to do any of this stuff. Okay, well, it's not really an option at this point. You have to put in the work to, like, get the result. So, and there's no quick way to do things either. It has to be done like the hard way. The hard way is usually the right way. Trying to do things the quick way is generally not the best way to do things, and you're not going to get the best result. You got to, do things the hard way. So
No, I absolutely got to do things the hard way. I mean, that's why they call it 75 hard day, because if it was easy, everyone would be able to do it. And, put in the hard work, the effort,
yep.
it takes a lot of time. And for you to have learned that, and especially again at your young age, that's impressive. I mean, that's just going to help you go further in life and be able to connect with your clients too, of the struggles and the mental barriers that prevent a lot of people from taking action and doing what they want to do in life. And it's not very, again, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that's just it. Like, everybody wants the result. Like, I see a lot of, even my friends, it's hard because at this stage in my life, I can't afford to have friends that are going to drag me down. It's just, you just can't do it. Like, where I'm at, I have to make sure that I'm prioritizing myself and the result that I want to get in the future. So I have to, really prioritize, okay, these people around me need to be doing, XYZ to actually push me harder, to actually have me help me to actually grow. And I think, I see a lot of people my age, they just sit around, like I said earlier, they're on the video games all day, they're on their phone, they're, just scrolling TikTok, scrolling Instagram. And like I said, I was in that place at one point. I was there. But you have to change your life. You have to make a decision to change your life. And you can't stop, or you need to stop waiting for the time to be perfect, because the right conditions are never going to be there. They're never going to come. You have to stop waiting for the time to be perfect. The perfect time to plant a tree was 30 years ago. The second best time is now. So start now.
I love that quote. It's such a good quote that you hear all about the time. It's like, start today. The best time to start was yesterday, but hey, you got today, so might as well today,
Yep.
so that way it doesn't become tomorrow. So how do you teach your clients who may struggle with that for them to start today and for them to continue,
Mhm.
especially in the world of video where there's thousands upon thousands of videos being produced a day, to keep that drive and motivation, tell their own story and have their own voice be heard?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think for me, it's very important that I push my clients, to continue to even just to start is sometimes hard, but to continue to produce that, quantity of video, it's not easy. I put myself through a lot of stress in recording. Like, I do a lot of videos. I do 3 videos a week. I do daily short form, used to be doing twice daily short form. I do a daily podcast. Like, I produce a ton of content,
Mhm.
and it's very, very stressful. But when you have that team behind you to kind of back you up, like I have, to push you further, to actually have that accountability, it's not as hard. For me, I know that, like, okay, my team is depending on me to get this video out so that they can edit it, so that they can make money. Like,
Mhm.
that's part of my mindset. But to push my clients, I generally tell them, no matter how much you try, your first video is going to suck. It's going to be bad. It always is. Even the top YouTubers, Mr. Beast, all these top people, uh, KSI, Logan Paul, like all these top people, the people on the very top of YouTube charts, they all
Right.
had their first video, and their first video sucked. Every single person had their first video, and it always sucks. And you have to stop worrying about, oh, well, what if Susie sees this, and what if John sees this, and what if what are they going to think of me? Who cares? No one cares. You're the only one that cares. It's all mental. Goes back to the fitness thing. Everything is mental in this case. You have to make sure that you are prioritizing yourself over others in some scenarios, because you really just have to. If you don't, you're going to end up in a bad place, and it's going to be at the cost of you. So you really have to kind of just start, like, just like with the 75 hard thing. Like, I saw it that night. It was like probably 11 or 12 at night. I woke up the next morning. I said, okay, today's the day. Today we're starting, not tomorrow. Not, oh, well, I'll start Monday because I need to have my drinks, today. Today is when I'm going to start. You can't keep like pushing things off. Like, it's the biggest killer of anybody's confidence, is just pushing things off. Okay, well, I'll do this another day. Well, I'll do this tomorrow. Well, I'll do this Monday. And you see so many people, they go out and they party Friday, and then they party Saturday, and then they party a little bit more Sunday, and then they're hungover Monday, and then they're still a little hungover Tuesday, and they go to happy hour Wednesday, and then Thursday they're just getting a little bit better, and then back to the cycle of Friday. You got to stop waiting and pushing things off. You have to start now. There's no excuse to push things off. And like I said, the conditions will never be perfect. So you have to live in the worst conditions possible. And that's kind of my goal.
Man, that's one heck of work ethic, especially to keep going up. I mean, I know sometimes it can be very difficult to even create one video a week, and
Mhm.
not just to keep going from that. And it may not seem like a lot, but that's why you can rely on compound effect, that
Mhm.
over time it'll grow. Because if you do 52 videos in a year, then it'll be 52, then 104, then it'll just keep on growing. And
Exactly.
then with that, more skills will develop. And
Mhm.
someone I follow and still do is Sean Cannell
Mhm.
with Think Media. and he
Yep.
talks about really it's
Mhm.
going to be your first 50 videos aren't really going to be that good, but the
Yeah.
50. And Mr. Beast, I've also heard him say, his first 100 videos were
Mhm.
terrible. Then, he thought at the time you always think your videos are good. Then you look back and you look at how much you've improved and how much more you have to go. And, you do have to have an insane work ethic to maintain it. I mean,
Mhm.
especially with how quick it goes. And I was in a conversation earlier today where, you might be able to go viral, but do you keep it up? Do you keep moving? And a lot of times the answer is no. Like you get one video that might get, let's say, a couple hundred views, but then your next might get 10.
Mhm. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and it's just that. It's like you can't be reliant on any one source of traffic, especially from video, because some videos are going to suck, some videos are going to go viral, and it's all luck of the draw. But there is really a formula to it, and to be able to have that, knowledge, it's just unbeatable. And to be able to have that team behind you, like I said, to push you to continue to promote, your work ethic, and to continue to give you that reinforcement, it's just very powerful. It's the same thing in fitness. Like, it's very hard to go to the gym by yourself every single day and push yourself to the maximum. But if you get like a gym partner or somebody to go to the gym with you, okay, now it's not as hard. They're going to promote, or they're going to push you. If you're not there, they're going to yell at you. They're going to, you saying, well, I don't know. I don't really feel like it today. I'm kind of tired. No, you better get going. Like, you know, screw the excuses. There's no excuses to not be here. To really have somebody to push you, that's very powerful. I think that just having somebody to keep you accountable, that's it's unbeatable.
It is, and that's how people get through. I mean, one take it from a fitness standpoint, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I mean, him and some other guys when he was big in the bodybuilder, they all had people would hold them accountable.
Hmm.
Tasting a chest day. Okay, now after this, we're going to go run on the hot sand for 2-3 miles.
Hmm.
So it's the accountability partners that really help you make it through, and especially on your hard days when you may not feel like getting up, when you may not feel like
Hmm.
going to the gym, and then it's, are you going to honor your word? And that becomes the question, especially if you got someone who's taking time out their own day too to hold you accountable.
Yeah, exactly. And just to have that person, I mean, it's just unbeatable. Like I said, yep.
It really is. And, it's a dime a dozen to really have someone like that to hold you accountable. Like, okay, we're going to hit the gym 3 to 5 times. All right. By the
Mhm.
time Friday, it's going to be honesty time. How much did we really hit the gym?
Yeah, yep,
And go
yeah.
from there.
Yeah. Well, and another big thing that helps a lot with consistency is not like for me personally, and I'm not saying don't take rest days. I'm not saying don't recover, but I go to the gym 7 days a week, and like I said, I work out usually about 15 times a week. So I do typically like every morning I do some sort of outdoor workout, whether it's a walk, a run, rain or shine, it doesn't matter. It's going to be outside. Like today, it was pouring rain. There were thunderstorms. There was lightning all around me. Still went out. Still got in that work every single day. Because if you go every single day, you can't make an excuse. Well, I'll take my rest day today, and then I'll make it up on Saturday. Well, Saturday rolls around, and you're hungover from Friday.
Right.
You didn't get your work in. So I do that every day, and then I go to the gym every single day, whether I want to or not. Even on my rest days, I go to the gym. Even if it's just like cardio, whatever I do, I'm gonna go to the gym because it's gonna keep me consistent, gonna keep that momentum going. One of the biggest things that I've learned is that it's all about momentum. Whether
Mm-hmm.
it's business, whether it's recording videos, whether it's getting into the gym, whether it's staying dialed in on that nutrition, whether it's whatever it is, it's all about the momentum and keeping those wins, winning every single little day. Even on the days that you don't feel like it, being able to win the day is very powerful. And just to it's not necessarily even about the long scale, because if you can win every day, you can win every week, and if you can win every week, you can win every year, and if you can win every year, you can win your life. So I think that's it's a very powerful thing to be able to extrapolate that onto a larger scale, to where you can actually see, okay, this is kind of how it's going to play out over a long term.
Yeah, good, very good. And that's a good thing that we all talk about. It's just get 1% better, whether it's 1% better each
Mhm.
day or each week. The question becomes, what are you doing to improve? And two key questions by asking yourself is always, what do you do well in? And then what's an area you can improve upon? And then you get a bonus question of what's one thing you can do today to continue that improvement.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I think like I talked about this earlier. One of the phase one tasks is your power list. So
Mhm.
for me, the power list is super important. Every morning when I wake up, first thing I do is I write down 5 critical tasks that I'm going to complete this day. If I complete all the tasks, it's very simple, very very simple. I check off the tasks when I complete them. If I complete all my 5 tasks, I win the day. If I don't complete my 5 tasks, I lose. And the goal is to win as many days as possible in a row and to keep the forward momentum going. And so every day I write down, okay, here's the 5 things that I want to accomplish today. After I'm done with those 5 tasks, I'm all good. I can do whatever as long as I get my 5 tasks and then my tasks for 75 hard, getting my workouts in. Like as long as I get my tasks completed, I can do whatever. And typically that whatever for me is business because I really love business. I really love being able to grow and scale and work with people around me in business. So that's for me. But for you, it might be okay. Currently, what's my scenario? Okay, currently I spend 12 hours a day playing Call of Duty. I eat 3 times a day. I eat bad nutrition. Okay, what am I going to do today? Okay, task one, hit my macros. Task two, get a workout in. Task three, and write down your 5 tasks. Okay, you mark all those tasks off. Okay, now I can go back to Call of Duty. Now you've cut down on that Call of Duty time to 4 hours versus 12, and
Mhm.
you're actually it's about the little things. Like even though you're still playing the video games, okay, you've prioritized 8 other hours that are actually going to be useful because the time obviously it's a limiting factor in everything. Uh, you know, time is the biggest factor that is that limits people in general, whether it's fitness, business, whatever. Because people say, okay, well, I have business stuff to do, so I'm just gonna sacrifice my fitness for business, or vice versa. Um,
Right.
and I think that obviously that has to be made. That decision sometimes has to be made. Whether you want to prioritize, family, whether you want to prioritize health, whether you want to prioritize your wealth, like the priorities they have to be made. But if you can't make your priorities straight, it's going to be really hard to grow. But having that power list to write down your tasks for the day and either get a win or a loss, very much so important for keeping up that momentum.
Yeah, no, it's important. That's the one things that people have to realize more is to really focus on what's called a cost benefit analysis. Is the cost worth the benefit, and vice versa?
Yep.
What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to do to achieve what you want to achieve?
Hmm.
And are you tracking your goals? Because the more that you can track, the better, more successful you'll be in taking time to even define what that is for you. So it might be, playing Call of Duty or the latest video game, Fortnite or what have you, from 5 hours to 4 hours.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because that hour could be dedicated to improvement. It's an hour it can be at the gym. It could be an hour. It could be reading, listening to a
Hmm.
podcast. Men of Action is a good one. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Yep.
Or your podcast. What's the name of your podcast?
My podcast, Doggedly Digital, is what it's called. It's only like 3 minutes each. So I try to keep it like 3 to 10 minutes. I do it completely raw, pretty much no edits. Like I keep it to the point. So that's kind of my podcast. Yeah.
Awesome. No, definitely be in the description so that people can go check it out. Quick 3-minute podcast, improve your
Yeah.
life. And
Yep.
hey, raw is always the best.
Yeah. Yep. 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 Yeah. And I think that, like, I don't know, maybe you can speak on this too, but like the podcast game, I feel like it's definitely helping other people change their lives because they can listen to it on the go. Like, even
Yeah.
on the workout, like for me, on my warm up, I'm always listening to some sort of podcast while I'm getting my warm up and on my walks in the morning, on my run. If I have headphones in, I'm listening to a podcast on my drive to the gym. I have a 30-minute drive to the gym and a 30-minute drive back. So I take like an hour out of my day to go to the gym every day just in driving. At
Right.
least use that time for something like a podcast. Great tool for that. I mean, I don't know if you do the same thing, but personally, I've found that podcasts have really helped to be able to prioritize that time and squeeze a little bit of extra juice out of the hours that might get wasted.
Oh, without a doubt. I've been on the Jim Rohn kind of binge for a little while now.
Yeah.
So one guy, Patrick Bet David, I'm sure you know
Hmm.
him since you're in
Yeah.
business.
Yep.
He talks about, only listen to music when you're at the gym. If you're
Mhm.
anywhere else, listen to a podcast, read some business books. So that
Yeah.
way you use your time to always improve. And that's what, have I been doing it all the time? No. But I'm
Hmm.
saying I'm getting better at from my personal journey. of listening. So I'll put some Jim Rohn podcasts on, and he'll talk about the winners and developing the mindset to do the best you can.
Yeah, and just being able to take some of that time and reposition, like,
Exactly.
repositioning the time that you'd be listening to, music and, just sitting there listening to music. Okay, yeah, maybe at the gym, yeah, you're going to hit a PR if you listen to more music. Like, okay, listen to music. But if it's not actually improving your life, if you're listening, like, for me, I listen to a wide variety of music, but like rap, for instance.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not really improving my life. Maybe it's getting me hyped. Maybe it's getting me ready to, hit that new bench PR, hit
Mhm.
it, heavier deadlift. Okay, it's getting me motivated. It's getting me going. Okay, it's beneficial in that scenario, but just sitting at home, it's not, improving my life. But if you're listening to podcasts, I mean, yeah, it's going to give you some insight. And even if you listen to an hour-long podcast and get only one thing out of it, same thing with a book. Even if you read a whole book and only get one point out of it that can actually improve you, it was well worth it.
Oh, without a doubt. There's a guy on YouTube. I don't know his name, but what he tries to do every time he reads a chapter, he tries to do one action step from that chapter that he read to actually start implementing it into his life. So that way he's not just reading to read, he's actually taking it, applying it, digesting it, and then putting action behind it.
Yeah.
And I think, podcasts have really changed the game because I was talking to someone earlier today on a Connect call, and they realized that their employer that they wouldn't be able to retire till like 82 years old.
Yeah.
So what changed his life was he was, getting things ready and he was listening to a podcast, and it turned out to be a finance podcast. And the guy actually was starting to take some action. And so that way he didn't have to retire at 82 from working. I mean, that's, our life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that definitely it's just like being able to improve yourself in just the little ways. Sometimes you don't know where to start. You want to, okay, you're taking my actionable advice saying just start, but where do I start? Okay, we have to kind of figure out, okay, do I want to start by doing this? Do I want to start? Stop overthinking it. It's the first thing I'll say. Because a lot of people will overthink it. They'll say, well, I don't really know how to work out. I don't really know how to, do that. Okay, go walk. Everybody knows how to walk pretty much. I'd say that everybody can go for a 45-minute outdoor walk. Okay, start there. Then, while you're on that walk, listen to a podcast, learn about how to work out. There's, like I said, there is a ton of podcasts out there that will teach you everything you need to know about working out, about mindset, about finance, about family, about how to improve your relationships. There's so many podcasts out there that, okay, while you're walking, learn. Okay, now that you've learned, how to, actually improve your life, now take the action steps. Because a lot of people just listen to podcasts, and I listen to Real AF a lot with Andy Frisella, and that's a great podcast. Would recommend it. But I think that in there he talks a lot about success zombies, and that's basically the concept that people will listen to every podcast. They'll pay to go to every speaking event with high level people. They'll do all this stuff to learn about success, but they don't ever actually take the action steps. Same thing with fitness. There's plenty of people that, they'll research fitness, they'll do all this stuff, but they don't actually take the action. And if you don't take the action, you can't reap the rewards, because the action is what actually improves you. In the gym, okay, lifting the weights is actually what's going to build your strength. Dialing in that nutrition is what's going to, help you gain the weight, lose the weight, do what you need to do to improve your life. And being able to take the action steps, that's just the start.
Yeah. And I love how you alluded to just going for a walk, because a lot of people,
Yeah.
just be on Twitter, you find out people don't like going to the gym because they feel like they're going to be judged, and,
Yeah.
take that as valid from them. So like, just go outside, go for a walk, especially with it being almost summer and the weather's getting nicer, until you can be as brave as you and go running in the storm and the rain.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like for me, for like 75 hard, like I said earlier, I was talking about my first day. I just went on 2 outdoor walks. That was
Yep.
how I started. And I'll be honest, like I still I remember this, but I was walking through, and I walked like the back way, like through my neighborhood, through like the part in the forest. There's like a wooded area. I walked through that area because I thought that people were just judging me for being out there walking. And now looking back on it, I'm like, Nobody's judging me for walking. But like,
Right.
it was even like this, everything was like, okay, this is nerve wracking. This isn't the norm. Like, you have to learn to separate yourself from the norm because, okay, let's be honest here. Normal people are fat. Normal people are broke. Normal people work a 9 to 5 job. They flip burgers. Okay, that's the normal life. Do you want to live that life? Or do you want to actually build yourself up to be a strong individual, to be actually, able to put in the work? You have to figure out, okay, what side of things what angle do you want to take on life? And like when I was doing that first day, I mean, it was like the squirrels were judging me. Like literally,
Oh wow.
it was like everything. It was like, okay, what if I mess up? What if I mess this up? I
Right.
was walking. Like the judgment is real,
It
or
is.
the thought of judgment is real, but nobody's actually judging you for being out there walking. Like it's not like that. People, and that's the other thing. Okay, I'll say this: if you're going to the gym and you're fat, right? You are the most important person in that gym.
Yep.
I try to talk to people in the gym a good bit and try to build relationships with people,
Hmm.
and that's my job too. Online, I try to build relationships. But if there's somebody that I can tell just started working out, because I know a lot of people in my gym. It's a fairly nice gym. It's a very private gym. But
Okay.
I know most of the people that work out there, and I go, like I said, I go on a daily basis, so I see the trends of, okay, this person's new, this person's been here for a while. I see that, and I notice it, and I always try to tell that person, hey, good job for getting into the gym. This is your first step. Try to encourage those people because they're the most important people there because they have the longest journey to make.
Oh,
They're
without a
just starting
doubt.
out.
Especially when they don't know how to work out. They've never maybe worked out before. Like
Exactly.
I've
Exactly. And those people, like, my gym is a bodybuilder gym. It's built for, there are people there that are, competitive bodybuilders. We have a number of IFBB pros. We have a lot of different, like, super strong people there. You'll be just walking by and people will be benching like 8 plates with like it's nothing, or they'll deadlift. Okay. It's crazy because these people that are the biggest that you feel like are judging you, these people that got the 70-inch biceps, like, they're not judging you. Those people are the people that actually want to help you. And when I first started working out, I had numerous people like that come up and say, hey, can I help you? Because I don't want you to get injured. Okay, that's one
right.
thing. Okay, that alone, like, a lot of people get annoyed by that. And I'm like, why would you get annoyed by that? They're actually trying to help you and make an
Mhm.
impact. So don't take offense to that, first of all. But those people that are the biggest, that are actually the strongest, they want to see that change in you more than anybody. I've found
Oh,
that those
without a
people
doubt.
they're the nicest people in the world, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I've going to the gym quite a bit myself. You notice that, and it's nice that people will take the feedback and help, and we hope to do the best again. And even from time to time, it express some concern, especially when people sometimes when they're benching, they
Uh-huh.
use it almost they kind of almost like I've seen this one guy bounce it off his chest almost, so he can lift heavy, but there's no control. It's more of a
Yeah.
more of a rest and then push up, like almost like a trampoline almost.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, and it's a lot of it is just practice. You gotta
yes.
learn from trial and error. Like that, I've seen so many people come into the gym not know a thing that they're doing,
Mhm.
and they consistently show up, even though they're not doing it right. They consistently show up, and then they learn. Okay, I have lower back pain when I deadlift. Okay, let's figure out how to fix this. And I did
Right.
the exact same thing. The first times I deadlift, it's the same as everybody. Nobody has a flat back when they first start deadlifting. Very, very rarely do people have perfect form when they first start deadlifting. But as you continue to deadlift and continue to practice it, you learn the skill. It's the same way with the mental side of things. The only way to gain discipline and mental toughness is to do things that require it. Going out in the rain, that's building up your mental toughness. Going out when there's a lightning storm, when there's a tornado, when it's sunny, when it's hot, that builds up your discipline. And like I said, when you extrapolate it, you can see that it goes on to every area of your life. And it's all about just practicing skills. Like, the
Yeah.
only way you can develop it is just practice. The saying practice makes perfect. That's 100% true.
Yeah. Bruce Lee once said, "I don't fear the man that can do what, like 1,000 kicks, or that's he's fear the man that's practiced one kick 1,000 times."
Yep, exactly.
So,
Yeah, it's all about the practice and dialing in. Like, okay, you got to start. You're not going to be good. Like I said earlier, you're not going to be good at video when you first
yeah.
start. You're not going to be good at the gym when you first start. But you have to consistently show up. You have to consistently put in the work, and you have to consistently continue to get better.
Yeah. So, as we kind of go through things, what is something that what's one thing like a statement, a phrase, or a word that you would give to someone who needs some guidance or some help, kind of like talking to a younger version 2 years ago.
Mhm. Yeah, I think the big thing is just start. Just start.
Okay.
It's it's the name of episode 1 of my podcast, and there's a reason for that. The podcast, like for an example, the podcast I had an idea on. It was on I believe a Tuesday or a Wednesday. The first episode released on Thursday. So speed is key here. You can't keep waiting because Gary Vee uses this example all the time. What happens when you wake up tomorrow and you're walking down the street and you get hit by a bus? Did you leave a legacy? Did you actually build that up? Are you going to be happy if you died tomorrow? The answer, if you are, continuing to improve yourself,
Mhm.
it's always going to be no. And to be able to get that legacy as close as possible and to put in as much work as possible, to impact as many people, to help people as much as possible, it's really going to help you to motivate you to continue to do better. And just being able to, just start now, it's going to be a lot easier if you start now because as you age, even like the fact that I started at 16 versus starting at 18, it would have been a lot different if I started now because it would have been a lot harder. Um, just getting started is the hardest thing for anybody in any aspect of life to do. To take the leap of faith and to just start.
And to know it's never too late. Start today and
Exactly.
gradually build. And
Yeah,
you
and stop waiting for the moment to be perfect because, like I said, the conditions will never be perfect.
right.
The best time to start was before, but the second best time is now, and it's never too late to start. Just get at it before it becomes too late. Um, the one thing that I disagree on with the phrase, it's never too late to start. Well, people take that and they say, well, if it's not too late to start now, well, I can just start in a few years. No, start now. It's not too late to start now. It might be
Right.
in 10 years when
Sure.
are on your deathbed. Yeah, it's going to be too late to start. Um, when you're stuck in the hospital because you can't walk up the stairs, yeah, it's too late to start. But right now, you can start. If even if it's just a walk, even if it's just going outside and getting some sun, even if it's just getting your gallon of water a day or however much water you want to drink every day, even if
Right.
it's just hitting those macros, whatever it is, just start. You know, focus now on getting the momentum rolling, and then focus on improving.
There you go. Hey, you heard it from Zach. Just start today. And you know what, Zach? You are definitely the key of man of action, especially, running the rain and not even the storms can stop you.
Yep,
So just keep on going strong, going high,
of
and
course.
nothing will stop your way. Start
Exactly.
today for a better life. And
Yep.
you know what, that's so empowering because you get to make that decision, whether you start or don't. So let's make the good decision to be a man of action and start today. So I want to thank
Yeah.
you for coming. If you want to get in touch with Zach, all his information is going to be in the description below. DM him if you want his services. And remember, stay tuned so that way you too can be a man of action.